Now we're going to go on the road and play at Milford this Friday night, league game number 2, and Milford looked to be a really tough opponent. They still could be, of course, but they had kind of a setback last week. They lost to a pretty good Glen Estee team.
Yeah, they got beat pretty bad by Glen Estee. We were a little surprised at that because Milford was, I think,
they were 3-2 before that.
3-2 coming into it. But Glen Estee can do that to you. If you let the running game get going, they have the ball all the time, and I think they probably had it 30 of the 48 minutes. Milford didn't get a lot of chances with it. But they have some nice players. The running back's got over 500 yards. Termulin, I think.
Yeah, Termulin.
He's a good player.
He scored 19 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Termulin has.
Yeah. He got a lot of them early against some of the teams they played early.
Yeah.
But he's, Glen Estee did a nice job with him last week. But their quarterback's a 2-year starter. He's back. They've got some decent size up front. It's kind of a new system from what they've had. It's a new coach. He was on the staff. But he's got his own offense and defense, and what they're doing is a little different from last year. But definitely got some players, and we need to be well prepared and execute our game plan to win number 2 in the league.
And talking about that, Termolin, and also I think the quarterback's name is Sullivan.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. That they've got 2 guys obviously that can possibly hurt you. Do they balance it out pretty much with the run and the pass, or is it more Termolin?
Yeah, they really are kind of balanced run and pass. Now their passing has gone up a little bit because they've been behind the last couple of weeks. They were behind at Turpin. They were tied with Turpin at the end of the third quarter. They were behind the whole fourth quarter and threw the ball a bit more. And Glen Estee, they threw it more because they were behind. So that skews the statistics a little bit. But generally they're balanced between the run and the pass, 50-50. And Sullivan seems like he hasn't run as much this year as he did last year. But that doesn't mean that won't happen Friday. So we have to be prepared for the quarterback run and things like that. And it's their homecoming, so they'll want to have a much better showing than they did last week and things like that. So hopefully, we'll be ready to play.
One thing that we did notice on the defensive side of the football is they have really given up a lot of points here in the last couple of games. I believe last 2 games they're giving up 96 points. So their defense has really struggled here in the last couple of games.
They have. Turpin's a good offensive team, and they scored 55 on them. And, Glen Estee got 41, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that, they'll have to look at that and see what they need to adjust and make some changes. And because you're not going to win a whole lot of games averaging 45, 46 points a game you're giving up. So, we need to worry about ourselves and, keep trying to get better because, like I said, we're still a young team. We've made great improvements through 6 games. But, for us to get where we want to be and get into the playoffs, we need, and to be competitive in the playoffs, we've got a long ways to go.
So what's the kind of the game plan and the keys of the game for this week against Milford?
Well, I think I'd like to get off to a better start offensively than we did last week, and I think they will. Hopefully we can move the ball, between a mix of the run and the pass. And I think defensively we can't let them control the ball. And keep our offense off. We need to be opportunistic as we always are and try to get some turnovers. But definitely we got to stop, their running game. And because if they're able to run the football, the game's going to get shorter. They're going to eat the clock up and wear us down. Because we're not real big on defense, but we can go out and play really well for 6, 7, 8 plays in a row. You get a longer drive than that, and guys start to break down, and that's when bigger plays happen.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the Anderson Football Alumni Association. As we said last week, we had a great response off of the helmets or the footballs that we had out. But I know the one thing that we definitely do need is we need the years that they played and their number, the number that they were. That was one thing that we definitely have to have. So, again, you can see that on the Anderson Football Alumni website. Here you see behind us at www.ahsfa.com. You can also catch it on my website, and also during the games, they rotate them through the game. So, or you can contact Coach Giesting at Anderson, and he can help you out too. And again, real quick, the checks can be made out payable
just,
to
Anderson Football.
Okay,
and we'll run it through the boosters and help pay for things. We need a 2-man sled for next year and different things. We're trying to raise some money for, but also it's just a way to honor those guys that have went through everything it takes to be an Anderson Redskin and be proud of their tradition that they have, and just try to get that whole wall covered with names.
Right now we're seeing a lot of the older kids that are kind of responding to it right now, but I think it's just a great thing, and hopefully this will take something to keep this thing rolling, and then during the summer we can get some things involved to it with as well.
Right.
Good. Let's go and start wrapping things up. We want to thank the folks at Anderson Community Television for the use of their studio and their air times, and they got a big party going on outside, and the three of us parked in Pebbles Overflow to get here, but we appreciate all their help. Thanks to John Raymond, our producer, in the control room there, for his help. Thanks to Denise White, and again, she supplied the food in the booth there, so we appreciate that, and all the highlights, things like that. And remember, if you can't make it to a game, like for instance this week, the Redskins will be on the road against Milford. We do all the games live on Dan's website, which is usbnsports.com. And it's really fun to have folks email us during the game to let us know that they're listening to it.
Yeah, they just asked us today if it was okay if we could release the tape for Waycross. Waycross wanted our game for the Northwest game. So that's going to be shown all over there.
All the city.
Yeah, so that was really nice to get more publicity out there for all of us. So.
And that was the Northwest game?
Yeah, and obviously we're talking about the closed restaurant.
I know what I was going to say, because we talked about the restaurants on Beachmont.
Yeah.
I don't think folks in Western Hills will be able to play along. But,
that's all right.
Anyway, USBNsports.com. If you can't make it to a game, especially the road games, listen in and let us know that you're listening to us. So, Coach, good luck this week. Game 7. Well, the season's really flying by.
It is. It's hard to believe it's week 7 already, and week 2, and then playoff things are starting to shape up a little bit, and we're like 12th right now because we're not getting any secondary wins. Northwest had to forfeit a couple games, so it's going to be close. If we're 8-2, it's going to be really close to get in. If we can win the rest, we can be 9-1. We probably have a pretty good chance.
When did those come out? I was just kidding. I haven't seen them yet in the paper.
If you go to the OHSAA.org,
they'll have them.
They'll have updated computer rankings on there, or joeidle.com. He does them, but the OHSAA has the official ones.
Okay.
And you can see where we're at compared to everybody else.
One of the things that I was looking at last week that we really needed was Oak Hills was playing Mason, and they lost because they missed an extra point.
Yeah, they lost, and they lost to Hamilton, I think, the week before in a close game.
Yeah.
They're not helping us a lot. They've only got 2 wins, and Boone County's got two, and Woodward's got 1, and Northwest has 0, I think, now since they had to forfeit.
Officially,
so, we got 1 from Loveland. We get some more this week from Milford, so. We'll see. We can't control all that stuff's behind us now. We just have to keep winning.
Okay. Okay, so for Dan Albers and for Jeff Geesting, thanks for joining us here on Redskin Review. We'll catch you next week.